Alright, today we're going to talk about Mandatos Formales, or formal commands. So far, we've mostly focused on the informal commands, which you would use with someone who you do not have to be particularly polite to, someone who is tú, to you. Today, we're going to focus on something a little different. Not for someone who is tú, but for someone who is usted. So what is a formal command? A formal command is used for people who, as I said, are usted. You would use them for people that you have to be polite or formal with. For example, teachers, bosses, strangers, etc. Anyone you would typically call usted as opposed to tú. We're going to start with the AR verbs, and we will also start with affirmative commands. So the next thing is for AR verbs and affirmative commands. Affirmative commands are the type where you're telling someone to do something. So right now we're only going to focus on telling someone what to do. Okay, step 1, you will use the el, ella, usted form of the present tense. So for example, bailar, the el, ella, usted form of the present tense is baila. Or for example, hablar, the el, ella, usted form of the present tense is habla. Step 2, change the A on the end of the el, ella, usted form of the present tense to an E. Okay, so for example, if it was baila a second ago, it is now baile, which would be the command meaning to dance. Dance. If there a second ago it was habla, it is now hable, which is the command meaning talk. So essentially what you're doing is treating the AR verb like it is an ER verb. Okay, so really you're just using what would have been the el, ella, or usted form of the present tense if this verb had been an ER or an IR verb instead of the AR verb that it is. Okay, negative commands. Negative commands are the type where you say don't do something. So you're telling someone not to do something. Step 1, and there is only one step. Just put no in front of the affirmative command. That's all you have to do, just no in front of the affirmative command. So for example, we have baile, which we a second ago said meant dance. If you want to make it don't dance, you say no baile. Hable a second ago meant talk. If you want to say don't talk, the way to do that is to say no hable. Here are some examples for you. If I wanted to say walk, I would say camine. Skate, patine. Sing, cante. Okay, some negative commands for you now. Don't clean. No limpie. Not that your mother or anyone else will ever say that to you. Don't paint. No pinte. And don't draw. No dibuje. Okay, we're now going to talk about the ER and IR verbs. Very similar process. We will start with the affirmative commands. Affirmative commands, once again, are the ones where you tell someone to do something. Okay, so step 1. Again, you're going to use the el, ella, usted form of the present tense. So for example, if the verb is comer, then you want to say come. Or if the verb is vivir, you want to say vive. Okay, now step 2. Kind of the same process as before, only reverse. Change the E on the end to an A. So, for example, what was come a second ago is now coma. What was vive a second ago is now viva. Essentially, same process as before. You are now treating ER and IR verbs as though they were AR verbs. You are conjugating them in the present tense as though they were AR verbs, as opposed to ER and IR verbs, which they clearly are. Okay, so the negative commands, same process as before. The negative commands, if you'll remember, are the ones where you say don't do something. So step 1, and it's still the only step, is to put no in front of the affirmative command. So for example, if it is coma, which means eat, and you want to say don't eat, you go no coma. If you wanted to say don't live, which I think you would pretty much only say to zombies, you would say, you know, viva is live, and no viva, don't live. Here are some examples of both affirmative and negative commands. Okay, so drink, beba. Learn, aprenda. Run, corra. Now, typically, corra has a little something else attached to it depending on who you're talking to. Like, if I were speaking to someone and I was saying, hey, you run, I would probably say, corrale, right? So you may hear it that way as well. Okay, so don't hide it. No lo esconda. Don't turn it on. No lo prenda. And don't break it. No lo rompa. Okay, so that is the end of this particular video. I will be posting another video later that shows you how to do this if you're speaking to multiple people instead of just one person. Thank you.